and so on. We are back here in ESA. So, fellow esports friends, ESA family, how are we feeling tonight? We are back with another play day, and it is a banger one. We had one yesterday, and we are surely bringing one straight back at you today as well with our big match of MG Ryuga against Entropy. These teams have in the past week shown that they know every map, every square inch of Rainbow Six Siege, from nook to every single each corner, and so on. I'm not alone, but of course I'm Mighty, and I'm joined by Max.
Hello, good evening. Welcome back, everyone. I'm very excited to be here for this match of today. Of course, you've already had the pleasure to guest yesterday together with, let me quickly think, you were guesting with McCready, but today is going to be you and me. And, well, it's the last remaining upper bracket semi-final match where, of course, the winner will join Ghost Army in the upper bracket final, and where the loser will basically drop to the lower bracket quarter finals. So very important match, of course. It's still, like even if you lose, you still get a chance in the lower brackets, but it's just a position you don't want to be in, and also the route to the grand finals becomes much longer. So for both of these two teams, a lot at stake. We're just a bit later than usual already, so let's just get things going, speed up a little bit, so we can actually get started with this match of today. Well, I think, of course, the first thing that we can start with maybe is the predictions. Maybe that's one thing that we can take a look at, so we get an idea what we can actually expect of these two teams. Well, Ocon clearly didn't do his job for tonight, but what we can see is a clear majority.
Actually, as well.
Unfortunately. Also a bit buggy. Some names for some logos grayed out for some reason, but okay. But either way, a majority for Entropy. I mean, it's a 4 versus 3, I guess, right?
It's a 4 against 3, I think. Yes,
That's
it
pretty close.
is a very close one because one team is their favorite with Entropy. But let us keep in mind, our MG Ryuga is also a very well-resumed team, and they're currently based on a 7-game win streak. So I can understand why this voting of us in the production staff is so closed on, because of the basement, how much games MG Ryuga is picking up lately, and how many wins they're getting from it. As we also see in the social vote is very closed up, 57 to 43% for Entropy, still in the favorite position. But we know what MG Ryuga can bring to the table, and they absolutely will bring their best that they can. And so on, them being in an underdog position does not bother them at all, after my opinion.
Yeah, and of course, these predictions were done before the map bans were even known to anyone. Of course, the map bans can make a huge difference in how a team is going to perform. But here we can see right now below us on the screen, Night Haven Labs, one of the maps that we have been starting to see much more and much more this season, especially towards towards the end a bit, especially towards the BO3 matches. Which is then going to be followed up by Bank, again a map that we don't see too often. It's a little bit in the lower half of most big maps. And then again, another beautiful map, Border, once again a map that we don't see too often. So I'm actually very excited. We are seeing, I mean, not new maps, but we're seeing maps that we don't get to see too often. So that's just makes things look a bit more fresh, which is going to be nice for this match. Yeah. And I'm very excited. And I mean, in terms of these maps, I mean, Entropy Gaming, the team that has been existing longer, or at least in the current roster that they are. So maybe the more experienced team with these maps, especially as a team together. But at the same time, Ryuga, who has been doing great. I believe he had some really interesting statistics about the team earlier. But yeah, I mean, that's the one thing you can talk about as well.
For them sakes, with the Ryuga picking up 7 straight games, being in a very high score and winning streak at the moment, they have played over crucially the most potential of the maps that we have in the map pool. So they feel very quite confident on those maps. There's like a map that they always say, IGL loves, team hates, Skyscraper,
Yeah.
we understand, is the first ban. It's okay, but rather than seeing, they don't say privately that they love maps more than others, and so on. They're very quite confident on these maps, and that will bring a lot of heat and especially a lot of pressure on Entropy, because they have recently been struggling a little bit. But since we are a little bit back of schedule, we're already heading into the first map. We are in Night Haven, and I think it will be a blast. Especially this map is so new. It is indeed a little bit large, but there are many corners to cover, many key positions to gain, and so on we shall see which team brings the first key position holds and may lose these positions or not.
Yeah, and as usual, we're going to start off with the operator bans. Mighty, perhaps this is one that you can walk us through and see which operators are going to be banned for this map in general. And I mean, Blitz, Mighty, that's one we don't see that often.
Blitz we don't see that often, but let's be honest, guys. Shield rework hurt a little bit of us, every one of us. Shields are so important now brought back with these changes that was brought to them in the rework. And so they're a real pain in the ass. They're living drones and they bring a lot of heat, a lot of tempo, and especially a lot of damage with them. So banning Blitz is definitely understandable because gaining fast pushes and gaining fast entry positions or key positions are very better to do with the Blitz in hand. That one is taken out. So on, we got our first ban coming in from Team Ryuga, banning out the Ram operator on nighttime lens. We got a lot of breakable floors. Very understandable to knock that out, because you want to have these breakable floors up and ready, not brought through, because that makes defending so much worse if you're getting gain up from the above level. Then we got ourselves a Mirror. Mirror, also very understandable, because you could potentially use her on every single spot necessary. And also that it's bringing you a lot of credibility. Aged's very well known for getting much intel, gaining much vision into the sides, and especially with all of these breakable walls that you get through on the walls in the first elevation, you can bring yourself some badass long angles. That one is denied by that, and Solus, come on guys, we don't need to talk about Solus. Solus is the one and only true elimination key when it is about just knocking out utility, knocking away intel from the attackers, and so on. That very understandable. And so on, we're going in the first round, and let's see what these teams bring in with a blast.
Yeah, wasn't Mirror one of the favorite operators of one of these two teams?
Indeed.
I believe so. Wasn't it Entropy?
I think Entropy likewise always likes to play that operator a lot. And that may be also well known by Ryuga, and so on. That ban also may be a straight target ban. Even though the things that is a straight target ban, because Mirror is so strong and so easily to use on this map in particular.
Yeah, Mirror, one of the most significant operators still in general in this game. There's no operator like as unique as Mirror, in my opinion. I mean, that's why we see her being played quite often. That's why we see her being banned quite often, which in this case is the case here by Team Ryuga. They are the team starting on the offense as well, so not having to deal with a Mirror is definitely going to be favorable. I'm not entirely sure for this map within ESA what the side statistics are in general. I'm just going to pull them up. I got them right here. It's actually a 45 offensive win rate, or 46 if we round it up, versus a 54 defensive win rate. So definitely defenders statistically stronger here on this map. Yeah, you know, like getting the right operators off the board might make things a little bit easier for Ryuga, and perhaps they will still get a round or two on the board here.
Maybe, may not. Well, it's all about these first rounds. These first rounds may be very type of conditional, how to see where these matches or these rounds are about to go in, and also like figuring out the playstyle of the opponent, how they're playing, how they're approaching. Are they approaching with a lot of pressure? Are they bringing heat? Are they looking for frags straight away from the board? Are they like slower in the approach? Or are they like opening multiple angles, gaining positions at first, then giving him a lot of rounds with intel gathering to then strike when they get the most intel needed. That is the purpose of the first rounds, like figuring out each other. So these rounds are called the touchy zone and the touchy phase, and as soon as we will come through this touchy phase, the real heat begins. So the first rounds, we may predict it will be a little bit slower. As we also see, 1.5 minute very conclude already from the first round, no kills done, and the slowest entries are just put into the round.
Yeah, indeed. Like already first half of the round already expired. I think it's getting a bit of a foothold here in the map, just finding their first a bit of control, and now trying to find out where the defenders are playing exactly. Currently, Dokkaebi already being very close to one of the players. Bats getting the first kill there on Variox. The castle being dealt with. The Fenrir also being dealt with here by Rexy. And this also, I mean, it just goes on. Aljamais with a kill onto Betchy. Alpha with a kill on Pat. Leaves us with a 4 versus 2 in the advantage here of Ryuga, the attacking team, with Alpha then getting injured and getting finished off by Aljo. It's Husky all left standing in this 4 versus 1. Gets in a gunfight, can provide some protective cover for himself. But as the diffuser is now attempted to be planted, he is in tough position. Gets one kill onto Gold, but then unfortunately gets found by Fezen. Gets taken care of. And therefore the first round win goes to the attacking team of Ryuga.
And so on, the first round, as you told, goes into the hands of Ryuga, and it is a big one. Yes, I called it. It is a touchy phase. We don't know how the teams are playing, how they're approaching, what their ideas or their game strategic plans are so far, but it's important. As we all know from the last SI that we have seen, but also just bringing back some information from the Manchester Major, this map is not as defender heavy as it was, but it's still very defense based, and so on. You really need to pick up the rounds in the defense here on this map, because yeah, you can attack it, no problem about that, but it's harder to attack than defend it, and so on. If you just look in like teams that we played yesterday, like for instance also Ghost Army, they just struck a 7-0 with the first half of them picking 6 defense rounds in a row, winning 7-0 against Zach Gaming in the cross lane. And it tells us how important it is to just have the utility, have the intel, and have the strategic plans ready for your defense on Nighthaven.
Indeed, and with this one now, we'll be going to the second round of this match. Entropy, getting ready with their defensive setup. And once again, Ryuga will go for an offensive round. Getting that first offensive round, like you already were talking about, how rounds can matter, is huge for the side of Ryuga, because on the offense, they will be in the more difficult spot, the tighter spot, compared to Entropy. This is Ryuga's map pick, so they did not get to decide where to start. That was Entropy's decision. But getting the first round of the board was incredibly important here for the side of Ryuga. Gives them a nice little head start and a boost. And from here on, of course, they will be looking to add even more points to the boards. Attackers, once again, having the usual drill, finding a way towards the building, finding a way safe, opening up some of those walls, which already is being done by the Heartbreach utility and the blowtorch of the Maverick. And this way they will create some new entry points and line of sights into the building.
Into the building and also into the first key position of the site. And so on, you just see Pat is already ready, scavenging for these feats. He will not find some very shortly, but there is a Vamai, potentially with the heads of Husky, needs to recover. He immediately swaps the side onto the balcony, onto the catwalk when Pat is not looking, but Pat may have the advantage there. But Husky fits in the first bullets here, dropping down Pat, and that way we got ourselves an opening frag in the hands of Entropy Gaming, and that one is a huge one, especially because the Peaker's advantage was not on Husky's side at all.
As the first attacker done, unfortunately the Buck already lost, which can be a very important operator, especially to create a vertical pressure, which can be very strong on a map like Nighthaven with loads of breachable floors. Luckily, there's plenty of other operators who can still do their job. Termite being one of those, opening up that reinforced wall, which actually seems to have been tricked, if I'm seeing it correctly. And also Husky then getting the kill onto Fazan, another hard breacher of the board, unfortunately. Yeah, well, this will make things a lot more tricky here for the side of Ryuga, especially with a 3 versus 5.
Absolutely, and now we just need to see and figure out where the next attempts are coming from. Alpha, and also in the next gunfight, I think that must be against Gold, potentially down in Warehouse in the standoff. As of now, we got our second exthermic charge run out, and also all your mice being get rid of by the Airist of Jewett in the hands of the Warden. And so we got ourselves a 5 against 2, and now we got a complete turnaround. Ryuga won the first round quite surely and quite easily. Now they're getting a full turner, and it is a flawless round in the answer. And that is what we are looking for in the hands of Entropy. Entropy immediately just strikes back and says, okay, we had a tough first round, but we're coming back with everything that we got. And immediately their answer with a promptly find of a flawless round in the second round to get up into the spotlights and gain themselves a first point in round number 2. It's not only one answer, it's the answer.
Yeah, what a way for Entropy to fight back after that losing first round, of course. The first round loss, that's not a big deal, but especially if you can come back after that with a flawless round, that's just a message towards your opponent, really. Like, show, okay, well, good for you that you won that first round, but we are very much capable of winning this map and winning rounds here. Just showing how, that you can win a round flawless in the second round is just very huge for the side of Entropy. So very well done by them, which of course has not evened out the score, but back to a 1-1 score.
But let's keep in mind, they won the spot that's, after my opinion, the most easiest to withhold, because it's a spot that you most likely hold, or better said, stronghold, within just playing one elevation and having maybe one roamer at maximum to just draw some time away from the attackers. Now we are back in the spot that they just recently lost in the first round, where you really need to play on 2 with you not play on all 3 elevations, because it is a sandwich spot. There is a lot of breakable floorage from beneath into the spot, and also in the ceiling of the spot is also completely breakable nearly, and so on. You really need to have those roamer games on spot to just not only spot your opponents, draft them away, kill some time off the clock, but nearly also try and get those frags done early on and not losing your own lives. It will begin to get harder in the defense now.
Yeah, for sure. Once again, of course, Ryuga is going for another offensive round win here. Same things, like, I mean, the same struggle here as usual. The bandit tracking is definitely hurting him for the side of Ryuga, slowing down the Termite, wasting that utility, which is viable. Luckily, Termite was able to save his charge, which he has been able to pull back in the pocket, but those EMP nades, those won't be returned once used. Of course, those are lost. Sorry, excuse me. Eventually, the Termites managed to actually find a way to open the wall, which has now been opened, so this is huge for the side of Ryuga. Within the first minute, at least, the wall has been opened, after which those attackers can now start focusing on a different side of the map. I mean, also we see Jewett just losing a bit of an HP in a gunfight there, but still staying in to be able to make a difference for the team.
But you also see in a position as a Veriax picking up his first kill and getting knocking out Phase on here. But immediately you see, okay, the breach is getting withdrawn, breach is open, and you see with Bechi just immediately just withdrawing his position and say, okay, I will fall back, but I will stay up top and just helping my teammate in the hands of Husky on that Azami. And they're killing time. They're killing big time here. They're nearly killed 2 minutes off the clock from 3 minutes. And you just see that Brexy is now finding an entry. He will surely flash himself by the push of Azami. He gets the Azami in the hands of Husky. And there is no refrag game. The refrag game is a little bit weak in the hands of Entropy. That's also what their weakness is. They've been telling themselves he was a little bit far too way there to refrag. Now he's struggling a bit, but he is doing the draw. As he now have gained 2 minutes of the time, he has done enough minutes, but Bitch gets immediately found down below. But Alpha there on the spot. The refragging Alimeister. And also Pat is down already, so it's only Braxy left against 3. And this one is another round that goes very quite handy into the hands of Entropy Gaming, with just killing time more than enough and then being on the right position on the back row.
Yeah, because Braxy now finds himself in a difficult position. Just 30 seconds, just under 30 seconds remaining. He's in the 1 versus 3. His position is known. Some of his enemies are damaged, however, but in the end, Variox, who has made his way back upstairs, flanks the Termite, gets the kill, and secures the round there for Entropy, putting themselves on 1-2, and therefore gaining the advantage for the first time during this map.
And so we got ourselves this flashed replay. He got the eye on the Azami and annihilates his chance. Even though he flashed himself, he stood up strong there, and it's a big moment. But it wasn't enough for MG Ryuga there. And so on, we're just needing them to pressure and pressurize through. They had a good run in the first round. Now they're losing a little bit of the tempo because immediately Entropy does what they're doing best, bringing adaptations to opponents.
And this is what we're waiting for. Entropy currently in the lead on the defense, going to the basement for the very first time during this map, because of course they have won 2 defensive rounds in a row now and must go to the third option. And for her, they are going to that basement. I mean, a very understandable one, as that's what we generally tend to see. For the side of Ryuga, of course, this means a lot of vertical options to be playing with, but at the same time, Entropy is also aware of the verticality opportunities on a map like Nighthaven, especially on the basement. So that's why we're seeing an extension happening even all the way to the top floor. Entropy wants to waste that time, wants to keep the control over the floor right above the walls and out of the hands from Ryuga. So they have as little time remaining and as little manpower remaining once they reach that position. There's little left to do for the side, and therefore Entropy would have a very strong defense. But of course, that's all how things are meant on paper for Entropy. Of course, Ryuga has a very good chance of countering that, and I'm very curious to see whether they will be able to do so.
I am also very happy and interested to see how that will go. As we just spoke of, Entropy won the round number 3, of course, everyone saw it. And it is a spot that I talked about where you need to play on more, or better said, on multiple elevations. To just withhold, drag some time out of the book, and also, better said, withhold these spots. The stronghold begins on multiple elevations, and also that guarantees for this spot as well. We're back in the basement. And we see the withdrawal of time already, just pulling 1 minute already from the clock. And you see, we are in the basement and we got reinforcements in the top level, up in servers. And that immediately just means, okay, we are disrupting them in their own build-up, in their own, like, top full clearance right away. Drawing time, meeting them, being there, being present, making them a little bit scared if necessary. That is just what I mean by Entropy, just taking all elevations, not being very strongholded on all of those, but just knocking down time, because time is everything. Like in map of Night Haven, we get so many angles to clean, so many rooms to just scavenge through, and also we need to find these corners where these roamers are lurking at, because if they back roam you into the basement and you're already on the attempt to build up a plant, you're screwed.
Yeah, but Various though, getting that first opening double kill, taking care of the Jackal and the Dokkaebi, two very vital operators for dealing with those roamers, as that's what they specialize in. And with them off the board, things will get very difficult for Ryuga. However, the extension of Entropy all the way to the top floor leaves the bomb site a little bit more vulnerable. Various Ryuga members are now seen inside the bomb site already after opening some of the exterior reinforced walls, so they have a nice opening and they have an entry point directly into the bomb site, where of course not as many defenders were located as they should be. Well, with the defenders now still up top, the attackers need to also be very careful of any flanks from happening. But currently the player was carrying the diffuser, getting ready to find a way into the bomb site from where he can start hunting. With the Entropy defensive members playing in the bomb site, it's not going to be easy.
Just in the pure hands that we saw. Some struggling bit of Barksy picking up 2, Gold picking up a 3rd, and so on. We got ourselves an advantage in the hands of Ryuga. The plant is going down, and Ryuga picks up double kills. He picking up his triple kill against both Alpha and Bitchy, turning the round around in a smoothly way. So we got ourselves a 2 against 2 split, and that way I predict that many things here. Brexy picking up the first double kill, and Gold being on the perfect spot to just come in from behind, knocking out the first, but then also getting the second double kill. How quickly back clean do you want to do for your Monty there? What a good work up by Ryuga, absolutely doing their work on the utility and the intel base and just being able to do that back push.
I think Ryuga made a very, very smart decision. Like I already was saying very briefly, when a team extends so heavily, even like 2 floors up from where the bomb site is, sure, that's great for time waste, especially if the attacking team falls into it and tries to go for a full clear. Which Ryuga, of course, initially did. They lost 2 members, and then they realized, hey, this is not working. What else can we do? And we already saw immediately the Thatcher, no, I don't think it was Thatcher, it was the, Thatcher, Monty, and the Ace already heading downstairs, getting ready to open up those walls and find a new way into the bomb site, which they did. And they went in, found little resistance, managed to work their ways in, got a few, like lucky, very nice kills to actually make it possible, make things work, to work things back in their favor, and then they still managed to make it work. So very well read into from Ryuga there, which gave them a very well-deserved and beautiful round.
I may have think, and the main cause of Entropy just giving away that round is that they had roamers upstairs, with also both Alpha and also Variox being there. Then they also had a Husky with a Vigil drawing up himself from the exo stairs onto vending. Maybe they all withdrew their position a little bit too fast, and so on. When then Gold was in, being ready, they already were back on site, making pressure, being ready to then push onto the Monty and the Ace, being onset on that exo canister. And then we immediately saw Gold just coming in, sneaking from behind. They draw attention on site. He comes from the back end and just say, okay, hell, I'm picking up these kills when I'm coming from behind, because they're not looking for me at all.
No, indeed. With the first minute now passing by, still 1 versus 1, no damage done, of course, as the round has just started. But attackers are still finding a way in. We can see some explosive drones coming out here from Algio, just looking for bits of utility that he could destroy. With the Omai just waiting there in the corner, it's an easy pick for him to just take care of a bit of utility from that floors, of course. Like just slowly getting closer, just trying to find a way in. Was at least being opened already by the Termite, which is a good thing. They will now have the new entry points and line of sight. But for now, just a bit of a slow start here from the side of Ryuga.
Let's close that bottom. Here comes the swing by Husky. He doesn't hesitate any longer, getting the first, but he gets immediately withdrawn and also refragged by Phazon. But Phazon needs to put in a lot of damage there to take down Husky, and that may have been a withdrawal that he may regret in the later stages. But that sneak up by the block by Gold, he is a little sneaker here in the hands of Ryuga. He wants to hurt him bad from the behind section.
And with this 2 versus 2, with Ryuga Fazon being quite low in HP, things are going to be difficult, and especially with the time running out, it's going to work in the favor of the side of Entropy. Ryuga needs to find a way into the bomb site and get some picks in order to get the plant down, and this is going to be tricky. We'll see how things are going. Likely various members of Entropy just waiting for the members of Ryuga to make their way in. We can see some key positions being held, especially with Aflana also on the flank from where in Warehouse. He can watch the catwalk where above the Maverick is playing, finds the headshot there onto Fazon. Man advantage here gained by the attackers, sorry, defenders. But yeah, like...
Okay, just to immediately bring those card jokes inside. Faison, where's your awareness perk? Where's your headset at, my friend? You need to hear when there's coming someone up the stairs, straight beside you, and now the hesitation from Ryuga isn't on point. They're struggling, they lost a lot of time on the approach, they then finally realized, oh, we only got 20 seconds left on the clock, and the scariness on the last attempt onto Sai, how shaky that was, how unconditionally like desorientized it was, and it looked for Ryuga. It is a round for Entropy, let's be honest. You were not prepared, you were not looking promptly at the clock, being ready to be when you needed was. And that way, you needed to push on side and you were not ready for the push. So on a little, I would say a rather good attempt by Ryuga onto the side, may have lost a little bit too much time, lost their heads a little bit on watching that time, and so on them, they were fatalizing themselves on that round, because that round looked incredibly good for them.
Yeah, indeed, and well, as we all can see, of course, Entropy Gaming currently missing out on one member. We're not entirely sure what's going on here. Might be just some kind of issue, and that the player is quickly restarting the game or rejoining the lobby. I hope to find out soon, but yeah, for now, of course, the game going to be paused, and we just gotta wait till we at least get an update of the member of Entropy or see the member return. For now, this means that we just have a little break here where we get a chance, to talk about the match a little bit, like how things are going, what this means for the two teams. I mean, a 2-3 score right now in the favor of Ryuga, in favor of Entropy, I should say. Yeah, I mean, Ryuga is still getting 2 points on the board so far, especially as the attacking team. That's pretty big for them.
It is big for them, and as of we have now played 5 rounds, there's only one more round to come before we are going into that rolls roll. As of we already here, we're going into round number 6, and as I've already said, you need to put those rounds down in the defense to have the best build possible when you're going into the rolls up, and then you need to attack in the second half. And that way, I'm not saying Ryuga should look for the 3rd point. They will do.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Just to help a lot in the hands of Entropy, Entropy really not only needs to look for the for this 4th round to win, but they need that. It's a crucial point, because if you're going in a roll up on 3-3 on Nighthaven from the defense into the attack, it is possible. I know how good Entropy is in their attacks and how much pressure they bring, a lot of aggressiveness they bring to the table. But against MG Ryuga on a map that they so much like in the defense, it will be. I don't really think it's possible. Come back on a 3-3 schedule.
Yeah, 3-3 would definitely be a huge stunt there off the side of Ryuga. But of course, Entropy is not going to let that happen, or at least it's going to do everything to not let it happen, because the 2-4 is workable for each side. But,
you just need to pretty much continue to just draw away time from the clock from Ryuga, because Ryuga is struggling in these late moments.
Yeah, that's what we've seen. We have seen how Entropy is very good at wasting time, and how indeed Ryuga is very strong towards the end. So it's not just wasting time for Entropy, that is not enough, because we have seen that even Ryuga can deal with the time waste, even efforts already being wasted. So yeah, Entropy just needs to waste some time and stay alive long enough, still have enough bomb set that's fortified enough at that time, so they can still hopefully win that last defensive round before the roll swap happens. Well, the first minute has passed by. We can see that the attacks already have opened up some walls and doors and whatever to just create those new entry points and lines of sight. But let's see how they will do from here.
And once again, we see a build onto elevations, because we're in the sandwich spot and we need to have some clearance and some roamers up in the second floor, and also immediately we need someone to withhold in the first floor. And the push comes by FaZe, and he puts off Ryuga, and the Ryuga's putting down gold to the ground. So we got ourselves a 4 against 4 man count, and just see and look at the pressure brought by Ryuga immediately. They know this sandwich spot is not comforting the guys of Entropy, and they're immediately pushing the buttons that they need. They have found some adaptations that may hurt Entropy and their defensive withholds, and they're pushing those buttons as hard as they can. But Hewitt comes from behind, and he picks Alpad, and that is the first. He picks up a second onto FaZe, and that one is a big comeback. And also Aliemeister now bringing back some power, getting Alpha, and so on. We're still having in Mankill in the hands of Entropy with one more guy on the board, but Hewitt picks up a lot of damage there. Needs to be a little bit more careful. Aliemeister's position now should be declared. It's only about can Braxy find some entry. The yellow ping onto Husky there. Nothing dealt with on damage there. Aliemeister trying to find Hewitt, does not find anything. Braxy coming from the behind section into the control room.
It seems like we're still having one player above it, so that's going to be a very big problem here for the attacking side. They might be able to go for plants, but with the player upstairs, he can deny from above and even create new lines of sight if needed. With the 2 versus 3 attackers seem to have side control, but unfortunately, Husky does get 1 kill, but Banks will kill onto Husky, so that's a trade. But then Jew with the kill there onto Braxy. Yeah, ends this round in the favor of Entropy, which was somewhat expected. Again, like we said, defensive favored this map is. And with a 2-4, I would say both of these two teams have done a good job on their half, but it's really going to come down to the other half of the map to see which team does better on which side. Or maybe we'll have another 2-4 split, or like 4-2 in that case, and we'll bring ourselves to overtime with a 6-6 score.
Well, but also that, yeah, Hewitt came back from the backstairs, found the head of Pat, and he waited a little bit to make the kill done. Yeah, it is an easy one, don't get me wrong. And you want to maybe cheek him out in the moment of just taking away time, waiting for him to just stand up and take the kill. But also, if you then miss the shot and potentially get a turn on, I don't know if the way. If you see someone do the first take, because you might not get a second chance. So just saying, be prepared.
Yeah, and of course with Ryuga now here on the defense, there's a lot of new opportunities for them, and we'll likely see a very different play style as well, where Entropy was very well on the time waste, and Ryuga was very good towards the end of the rounds. Things might get a little bit different here. We do see the members of Ryuga extending to the top 4 at least, so also they are going to look to waste some time and keep the top 4 control in their own favor. But the question is, how quick will Entropy be on entering the building to get control over the map and actually do something with it?
They could put in a lot of work and a lot of effort, and that is where they need to find the reward then. As of well, now we've seen 6 defense in the hands of Entropy, and Ryuga is now in the position to just show what they're bringing to the table. Now they're in the position to say, okay, we will show you why we wanted to play this map, and so on. Entropy really needs to focus, straighten up, and be ready for every single thing possible and necessary they can bring to the table to just avoid themselves from being locked out by Ryuga onto the sides. Because I know very well that Ryuga is not choosing this map because they say, okay, it is a map that we think Entropy is a little bit better than us on. They're feeling very confident on it, so they will bring their strat works out on that one. And Entropy really needs to do the best that they can, especially on the adaptation bit. Every single flaw that they find in the build-up, or in the lack of experience in the build-up of Ryuga that they find, they need to put pressure on those, because these are the only keys that they may find.
Yeah, well, so far Ryuga is doing a great job. They have wasted quite a bit of time here from Entropy. Entropy, however, is a bit all over the place. They are trying to get top for control, but are also opening up some walls downstairs as well for the later end of the round. But with so far every single player being still alive, and only due to having a little bit of damage from that bandit battery, this round might end in one big bloodbath as we're nearing the 1 minute mark. But the Spat gets the first kill onto Afla though. We are seeing the Ashe losing her life. The first kill there from the side for Ryuga to Entropy, with Husky then following up and killing Pat. We're back to 4 vs 4 man count.
And that is important. As of soon, yeah, you get the opening frag against you in the attack, but you immediately did to take the refrag, and that's very important. Yeah, you lost Alpha on the Ashe, very important operator, don't to be bragging about. but you immediately refrag that operator, and you don't only refrag it, you get a second kill onto it as well. Yes, bitch is not very low, but Variox is getting withdrawn very early on. You had an advantage, you lost it, and now you immediately you do what you're not saying you're good at, you're refragging, and those refrags are hurting Ryuga a tremendous bar.
Yeah, and this leaves them with the 2 versus 3, with attackers now having pretty good stop floor control, where the Buck can do his job. He's completely in his element, destroying the floor completely. But meanwhile, Betchy has found a way into the bomb site. I don't think there's any proper defender actually in a way to actually mean something. They seem to know, there seems to be some kind of camera pointing out the location, but it's already too late.
Strong.
The fuser is down. Betchy gets a kill onto Fazel, and now it's all coming down to Algemeister in this 1 versus 3 situation. Gets found by Betchy as well. And that's again a round win here for the side of Entropy. Both teams, whenever they go to the attack, starting out with an attack win, so that's good for both of them. But it's Entropy right now with a 2-5 lead.
And as I told earlier, the lack of not feeling comfortable in your own skin while playing when you're, especially when you're low HP, does not bother Betchy at all. He's already in this situation, he has gotten 1 kill, and he may have 10, 15 at maximum HP left, and he concludes in and says, okay guys, I'm having the fuse in hand, you have my top wall clearance, get some pickles down to me, cover me, I'll plant. And he doesn't only plant, he goes against both of these defenders in the first floor, saying, okay, we are needing to back roam, maybe getting done before the fuse is being placed, or rather said, you just need to deal with him and then wait and just bring those upper guys in the second floor down to us, because they need to come here, or else we would just defuse. And Bitch does what he does best. He does not care about his HP. He just plays his mind games with the opponents, being on the better hand side, putting up a lot of pressure, saying, I'm not scared of a gunfight, and he takes this gunfight like a man and gets himself another hand of 2 kills.
Yeah, indeed. And if trends will repeat, like I said, the first attack round was won by each team so far. If the trends then continue, it should now be the defensive side that should start winning some rounds, and I hope so as well for the side of Ryuga, because the 2-5 score is getting a little bit tricky, and if it gets turned into a 2-6, it's almost near impossible to even win the map. So starting to win some rounds here for the side of Ryuga on the defense is crucial, especially if they want to win their own map pick. But so let's see how they will be doing. And of course, Entropy is still here on the offense. And well, where they last time took a bit of time to get some proper control, they managed to get it in the end, and were completely devastating the side of Ryuga.
May they have gotten some devastating positions, of course. On the same matter of fact, you just see, once again, you find those roamers quite early on in the hands of Ryuga, because you just know for a fact which positions they are going to withhold the strongest and as furthest. And you immediately meet them up high, you bring the pressure. Entropy is known for that pressure, for the aggressiveness they bring to the table in every single attack, and immediately you find Hewitt on the first kill, finding Pat on that Cade. Yes, Cade, Pat is not quite into that match right of the moment, may have withdrawn some positions, and Variox picking up the second, phase now coming back onto the top roam. And there is these angles that I mean. You know for a fact that they got roamers upstairs, and you need to clear those out or just knock them away that you don't get hurt by them. And that way, FaZe was just free, way too freely to roam and move himself, and that way he gets himself a kill. But once again, Entropy does their work. They're putting up one more guy, bringing pressure immediately on FaZe when the position is known, knocking him out.
Yeah, with this we find ourselves in 2 versus 4. We're not a single defender on the bomb side, by the way. This is something that Entropy might not be aware of, and Algemeister makes perfect use of it. Finds a perfect flank onto Husky, takes him out, brings it to 2 versus 3, which might increase the chances here for Ryuga. But as then Afla gets a kill onto Brexley, it's back to 1 versus 3, with Algemeister getting killed on Afla, and as the plant was attempted, Duet perfectly covering, knowing exactly where the defender will come from, getting that final kill, putting Entropy on map points with a 2-6 score. Just one more round for Entropy needed to take home the first map pick of Ryuga, where Ryuga now needs to win 4 rounds in a row without losing a single to still have a chance to win their own map pick in overtime.
It is a lot of temper in this match for sure. And Entropy is just doing the things that they're promptly needed to do. They're putting on pressure, they're knocking out these roamers. They're a little bit crucial on these other players and say, okay, I will do a black flank. And it works every single time for Ryuga. But in a matter of fact, the guys from Ryuga on the side, they're not calm enough. They're scared. They're moving a lot. They're doing things they're not able to do. As also as we saw Alibi, yeah, Alibi knew for a fact that Alpha is in front of her in warehouse. What does she do? Instead of just roaming back, going through the rotation into control, she wants to meet him. And the fact is, Alpha is just ready for that gunfight, and you're not. In that fact, you lose one operator because she doesn't know for a fact which other options that she had. And that way, you're just throwing away that man on the board.
Oh yeah.
And so on. Ryuga does not look good on their own map pack, especially not now in the defense. They look stronger in the attack, don't get me wrong.
Yeah, indeed. I mean, of course they did look stronger because they won 2 rounds in their attack and they haven't won a single on their defense. But, I mean, if they want to win defensive rounds, which they should, especially given the nature of this map, then this is the time they need to do so because it's do or die right now. 4 rounds, but like I said, is what they need in order to still have a chance to work things in their favor. The way Entropy has been playing, it's not really about how strong Entropy has been playing, but that Ryuga is just not being able to deal with it, and they just need to find a way, like you said.
And once more, I just want to bring more statistics into this game. Ryuga picked this map. Okay, why did they potentially pick this map? They picked it because they played it last week, just from 28th of last month. They played it against Silex. Silex, yes, of course, is another good team. It isn't quite on the performance level as Entropy is, but still, if you just look at it, they won against Silex 7-2. And they also there began on the prompt side of being in the defense. So they know for a fact how to defend those spots. But Entropy doesn't let them. And that may be the struggling part for Ryuga, not really finding the answers that they need on the build-ups Entropy bring. But now it looks like it turns around. Immediately Entropy finds a kill, Ryuga refrags, and now we got a man cut in the hands of Ryuga with one more man on the board as of the fact from now. 1.5 minute in, very good.
Yeah, it's been some time since we have seen Ryuga in a favorable position, or at least having the man advantage here. There is, however, just still 1 minute and 20 seconds on the board, so plenty of time for the members of Entropy to get some picks, to do something to work things in their favor. With Zonda with the kill onto Husky. It's once again another Entropy member losing his life. 4 versus 2, double the amount of members alive on the side of Ryuga. Surely they should be able to get this round, but it's up to Jewett and Bachi. They're going to do everything in their power, but it's unfortunately not working in their favor. It's Fazon getting the kill onto Jewett, leaving Bachi all left standing, who's now making his way into the building from warehouse. The defenders are top, the defenders on the bomb side, so he doesn't know where to look, but finds a beautiful free fire headshot there onto Fazon. 3 versus 1 with still 40 seconds. This is going to be tricky. Mighty?
It may be tricky, and it nearly seems impossible, but it's Bitchy. Bitchy, I already told you, he's not afraid of taking these gunfights, especially not when he's low HP. He's putting pressure on. He gets another hand of 30 seconds closed on. Now he gets some rear-based on a level of gold coming from above. All your mates are pushing down from below, and so on. You make him clinch in a position, you get him into stage, and that way you put yourself in a winning hand. Ryuga puts in efforts as they are needed to put in the efforts right off the right moment, and immediately they find themselves around, and one round they find themselves the first round to say, you're not taking our map 7-2.
Yeah, this is the first defensive round for the side of Ryuga. Maybe a little late, given that Entropy has double the amount of points and is on map points. But at the same time, it's also a start for Ryuga. They finally won a defensive round after 3 attempts. Potentially, they now got a proper taste of it. Finally found a way to break Entropy and potentially get even more rounds on the board. 3 more are needed to secure that overtime and have a chance on their own map pick win. But it's still quite a bit of a tricky one, as it still requires 3 more rounds.
They need 3 more rounds, Entropy needs 1. And so on, it just, for a fact, it already was last round saying, you're standing with your backs against the wall, and you need to promptly find answers. You don't need to find them yesterday, you need to find them now. Because yesterday was prep day, today is the real deal. And of now, you got no split seconds to waste, you need to find the adaptations that you need. You need to know for a fact where is Entropy coming from, which builders will they probably want to build, and you need to build your defense lines from all that points. And so on. Ryuga is having a real struggle to just find those answers because they have no more leverage ground to just give away.
No, indeed, it's Ryuga is just fighting for life on that. They know they need to win some rounds in order to still have some success on this map. So they're giving everything in the power. Where Entropy might just feel a bit more better about themselves. I must say, however, beautiful play from the last round from Badgie. How he was just like not giving up, fighting till the last very moment, still taking 2 or 3 people down to his grave. So very nice attempt. Many teams, many players would just sit and wait and take more like a tactical timeout. And he at least tried. So that's beautifully done there. But for now, it was indeed Ryuga getting the rounds win, where of course they are looking for more. The side of Entropy is surrounding the building, mostly finding a way up, like into the building at this point, getting those charges ready, getting those doors open up, and from there they will start pressuring the members of Ryuga. Of course, they're going for the time waste strategy one more time.
And Olimeister is not feeling comfortable alongside that Monty. Monty, the living drone, and he gets put out by Alpha. Alpha getting refragged by Phazon, but still, this man of a drone in the hands of Husky is still alive and still breathing. But Husky's in a clinch position. He really needs to find out a way. Jimby will hold and then push on. He does find that spot. Put himself a little bit away. Praxi coming around with the impact grenade, just denying that breach from happening. Had is getting withdrawn. So we got ourselves a man count in the hands and favor of Entropy. And Entropy put a lot of pressure. Varix picking up the next kill onto Braxi. And so we got ourselves a 2 against 4. And Phazon is very well need to back Rome. He puts up the first. He puts on back Bitchy. Variox's bot this time, the man with the diffuser in hand. It is in Bitchy. The diffuser lands on Husky. And also Varix is getting withdrawn. But Variox is on the spot, putting down gold in the last gunfight needed, and so on. We got ourselves a winner for the first map, and it is Entropy Gaming.
A beautiful 7-3 score with a very explosive round end. And it took me a second to realize which team actually managed to get the win there for the previous round, but it is indeed Entropy with a beautiful situation there at the very ending. Here we can see a little replay of the highlights of the map. First of all, the Monty play. Beautiful distraction. Yes, he almost died, but then the refrag from the Ash onto the other player. I mean, beautiful play by Entropy. Nice attempt there from Phazon to work things back in the favor, but unfortunately not good enough, after which a member of Entropy secures their first map after winning here on 19 laps with a 3-7 score.
Winning 3-7 is very big, especially it is the mapping of the opponent, and now you're feeling confident, you're feeling well known, because you've already proven to your opponent, you need to respect us. You brought us your map, we want it, and now we're bringing you to our homeland, and as we all know for a fact, it's Bank. Yeah. Bank, a map we're not seeing so often anymore, but is a map where teams, especially in the German sector, are so well known on. Especially, just bringing some more stats just quickly before going into the break. Both teams has recently been playing that map.
Okay.
In the hands of Entropy, they played it against Silent Family, 1-7-4. If we look in the hands of Ryuga, they played it against Salix and won 7-1.
Okay, so a map where both teams are very much capable on winning. Of course,
they're
these two
very
are
well capable of winning, and it hasn't been a while. It's just been priorly 1 week since they did these performances, and so they've just proven that they know for a fact how to play these. Once more, the stats go in the hands of Ryuga, but Entropy will do a fair and square dance with them on their mapping. But so on, I don't have any much more to say, and I think we'll go into a quick break.
Yeah, just to quickly recap that, a map that both teams are familiar with, 2 great teams who haven't played each other yet, so this will be the first time on that map. So it will be the ultimate test to see which team is better at Bank than the other. So like you said, a quick break of about 5 minutes, and then we'll be back. See you soon.
And so on, we're back for the second map, and we are absolutely heated up after this first match.
Oh yeah.
And still, I'm Mighty, I'm joined by the Dear Max, and so on.
Good evening.
Yeah. We are ready, aren't we?
Yeah, we're more than ready, of course, and I hope that the players are also ready, because, of course, Entropy was more than ready for the map of Nighthaven, the pick of Ryuga, but won it with a beautiful score of 3-7 in their favor. So right now, we will be going to the map pick of Entropy, which is going to be Bank. Of course, Ryuga. Actually, Ryuga will be starting on the offense, which might actually favor them on a map like Bank. You never know how those maps turn out. But either way, it's Entropy who's in the position who already secured the first map point, where Ryuga needs to fight back in order to still have a chance to remain in the upper bracket, unless or otherwise they will be dropping to the lower brackets.
Yeah. And with that said, they're bringing up and they're starting up in the attack. On Bank, fair and squarely said, I think it's a good pick because you need to pick up some rounds in the attack to just build your own mentality. And the rather more rounds that you pick up, you more pressurize the defenders. And immediately, when you're picking up rounds that you shouldn't pick up, like in the attack, for instance, on Bank, um, you're building up your own mentality. You're pressurizing Entropy and saying, okay, we are bringing the heat, and we are saying to you, it won't be an easy run. And if you then slightly maybe get 2-3 rounds, better said, if you get 3 or maybe also 4 rounds, you can be in a position where you've crushed the mentality and brought some lack of confidence in the players of your opponent. And if that thing is said, and you then go into the defense, then you got yourself a big standing. And I think that may be the thing that the Ryuga is looking for, because they need a re-entry in this matchup, and they need a big one.
Oh yeah, they surely need a big one. Ryuga needs to fight and give everything they got, because otherwise, like I said, they will be going to the lower brackets and starting about giving everything they got. We are now going to start with the map Bank. A quick tour around to see, to familiarize ourselves with the map that we don't see that often, unfortunately. But today we are going to see it. It's going to be Ryuga here on the offense, Entropy Gaming on the defense. So Entropy Gaming will likely start like either on the top floor or here in the basement that we're just seeing right now. But before, of course, we see which operators of which bomb sites are going to be picked, we're starting off with the operator bands. And Mighty, walk us through one more time.
I surely will. And so we're going into Bank, and we're looking for operators that will bring a lot of utility, maybe also vision in, because we got a lot of square rooms, big like gaps in areas where you can find some utility, you can find intel. And so we're going for these shields. I rather said I would see a multi-band above the Blitz, because it is a living drone, let's be honest. And a map like Bank, it's a big one. But it is Blitz, understandable, still one of the biggest operators that are well used in these pushes, because he can be such a lethal weapon in these pushes, in these fast takes of areas, as well as Amaru. We got a lot of windows on Bank, to be fair.
Oh yeah.
Indeed, we're sure. And these fast ones may be coming in also fast entries to roam out and build up these top floor clears are withdrawn with knocking out Amaru. Because for a fact, there are multiple German teams. Every single base strat or standard strat on Bank in the attack is top floor clean first, and then we play from the second floor and lower into these spots. And that is also maybe the key factor why Amaru is brought up away from the table here, because both Ryuga says we will not deal with that. And then we got ourselves Azami, very well played by Entropy on Nighthaven Labs, a lethal weapon there in the hands of Varix and both Bechi and so on. Maybe a target ban, but also very understanding ban, because you can build yourself so many cheeky spots on Bank, because you got so many tables lying around, props that where you can just build your gates on. So on that ban, also very understandable. And at last, Zolis. I don't think we need to talk about Zolis. Let's be fair.
Yeah, like just saying, like the previous map bands one more time, quite often until we see the when the new season arrives. For now, the question I was asking earlier has now been answered. We will be starting off in the basement. It's a bit of a 50-50 for this map. Some teams start on the basement, some teams start on the top floor. Either way, in the end, you will need to play any of them either way, so it doesn't really matter that much. But just having that bomb site that you favor the most, starting with that one and getting that first round on the board as well, just gives you the nice little boost a nice push in the right direction. So that's why some teams prefer the other one over the other. For now, let's see how things go. Like I said, Entropy on the defense and Ryuga on the offense.
Attackers are moving out to locate a bomb.
Let's see how the offense will be brought into the table. It is in the hands of Ryuga to just set the first point, set the first pressurizing points onto Entropy. And the first build-ups here will very much just say or indicate what they're going for. Are they going for this top floor, going on the hatches, coming down main stairs hatches, going for the back end sides of this spot, or are they pressurizing into office open area, making all those hatches, and then play from the front end side into servers? And it looks like they're playing from servers, and they're immediately being mad up high. Rexy on the Monty that he brings, immediately knocked out and knocked back by Variox on the smoke, and also Alpha being there with the Cade ready to pop and ready to be a second helping hand.
Yeah, so the defenders definitely being held back, where the last map they were mostly held back on different levels of the map. Right now they're actually held back on the actual basement from the tunnel, which is one of the few entry points into the basement right here. Various members of Entropy just waiting, ready for the members to push in far enough to actually make a move. Smoke canister early already coming out to do some damage, but not too much as the multi managed to escape. But with the smoke having that canister, ready and perhaps ready to throw again, they might be able to do a bit more damage this time around, or being able to separate the multi from his other teammates who are playing on the cover. But now we also see the Kaid on those backstairs, could actually go for a perfect flank onto that Monty, which is going to kill onto Jewett, but then Afla getting killed onto Brexy, evens out the man count with a 4-4.
Equal man count, we're talking about it. You need to put these first points on the table, build up, and just see what's coming out of that. And immediately, you bring some pressure, you get one, but you lose one. And for key factor, yeah, Super Rao is okay to lose in defense. But a Monty on that spot where you potentially would use and need him to gather intel, and also holding you while you plant, not a fair trade. But the fair trade comes in with Pat picking up another kill onto Variox. That is a smoke gun. Yes, I think he had no more smoke canisters left, but so. Still, very goodly, very well cleared, and so on. Then now they have an advantage point taken on the back-end side in servers, and they could potentially go for a plan situation there, and they will do it. It's only 30 seconds left on the clock, and they don't have really much of other abilities to do.
No, the unfortunate thing is that they lost that Monty, however, because he would have been a very good opportunity to go for the plants, because especially with Afla back into that, back at the garage, has a very long line of sight onto that default plant spots. The smokes will need to be thrown here indeed to cover that position. And also with Pat coming from behind, finding Afla on the flank, is Betchy getting killed onto Gold. It's a 3 versus 2, where the defense of Defuse is now being attempted. Pat with another kill to Betchy. Husky with a kill onto Fazon. It's now 3 versus 2 after Husky got his triple kill, and the Defuser now has been planted. It's all coming down to Husky right now, where the timer is ticking against his against him, as there's only 30 seconds remaining. He needs 7 to defuse the Diffuser, and with the members of Ryuga positioning them very smart, one close to the bomb site, one working his way upstairs to cover from the hatch. It's Pat with the final kill onto Husky, and that's the first round of this map going to Ryuga, just like they did on Nighthaven.
Just as it did on Nighthaven, and we talk about it. We said they need to put on a lot of work. They need to do the intel work right on scavenging intel, getting enough information about where the opponent and where are the defenders standing at, which angles could they potentially hold, which crosses do they have, and so on. We build upon that. They did that, they won a round, and they're doing exactly what we talked about before and after that. They need a comeback, and they need it fast, and it begins with the first win in the very first round. Importancy, very quickly dealt with, but it's not over and done yet. They need more.
Oh yeah, for sure. And I was just quickly pulling up the statistics here for ESA Cup Season 8, specifically on this map. And once again, it is a defensive favorite map, but the percentage is a little bit smaller. It's a bit closer between to each other. It's a 53% for the defense and a 47% for the offense. So, well, Ryuga really getting the first point on the board, where they got 2 points on the board when they were playing on Nighthaven on the offense. Is at least a good start for them. But then again, I mean, if things go the way they should, the defense should work out as well. But it didn't really quite go that way, so those statistics can be thrown in the bin. They don't always predict how a match will end up. But for now, at least, things are starting out well.
You can just do your best as a team and just bring in the points that you can, doing your best that your abilities let you do. As long as you don't do any flaws, go up to these standards. these standard rollovers with the 4-2-3-3 potentially. All depends on how good of key factors that you are able to play out. You got 5 cards in your head and you need to play those out right. As soon as you do, you win those rounds. And the thing is, Ryuga just don't need to think of the big picture and saying we need to win this map. They just need to make it small, make it simple, play the standards right. And just saying, okay, we play this match round by round by round instead of just thinking, okay, we need this map. Because as soon as you just hit it in your head with saying we need the map, you're struggling. Because you're not thinking clearly from the moment that you're playing as of the moment.
Yeah, that's indeed correct. Very well said. So indeed, it's like don't pressure too much, don't pressure themselves too much with it. But in the end, it's still their goal. And for right now, Ryuga is just like scouting ahead a little bit, trying to find some information or seeing some ballistic shields that have been placed and which are being blown up from a distance. And also the Twitch drone being very effective, you would say, on popping those mirrors. But unfortunately, just a little bit of debris in the way there. I believe it was a chair or whatever. Unfortunately, blocking that laser, which caused a mirror window not to be popped. Very unfortunate. Which doesn't have a second drone either, so that's a bit of an unfortunate one. But okay, there's other ways to deal with it as well.
Unfortunate for one hand, very lucky for the other one, as we like to say, correct. And so on. Entropy get themselves a little saver here by the map they picked. So on, they're building friendships. But okay, but once again, we need to talk about it. Ryuga had a very good first round, but now they're beginning to struggle again. They're losing a lot of time just figuring out, okay, what can we potentially do? Where shall we come from? Where are the opponents at? Oh no. Oh. Aflo, what are you doing, man? Facing getting the first goal, getting the second, and now promptly again, we're in the touch zone again. Ryuga just needs to find out what is Entropy doing, where are they placing themselves, what are they holding, where are the crosses coming in, and immediately they find some answers. They get them opponents on site and they kill them immediately. They're doing what they're supposed to do. They do the standards, and if you do their standards right, you can make it more complicated if you win the rounds after each other.
Yeah, the S-charge being shot from below onto Jojo, just casually walking away, staying alive a little bit longer, but in the end, Fazan still claims the kill he was looking for, takes out the mute, gives a perfect opportunity here for Aljo to go for the defuse, and which he seems like he's going to be able to stick with the 4 versus 1, as Bachi also gets taken care of. Varus getting 1 kill onto gold, 3 versus 1 that is right now a difficult position once again, a post-plan situation, the second one for this map, gets the triple kill indeed. And right now there's just 2 attackers left standing. I believe 1 on the rappel outside of the windows. An almost impossible situation for position to counter. But the other one on the far west towards the windows there. Where, yeah, I mean, like I said, the Frost in a very difficult situation here to even make his way to the diffuser and counter the player on the windows. Well, with limited time remaining, my dear. Sorry, go ahead.
It is an impossible play. He got 2 guys pressurizing him. He may found some bullets on the Hibana when she was square out in the oval like reception area on the banana side, but he doesn't get any bullets dealt with on Brexy on the windows. And so on, Ryuga picks up another round. Yeah, they struggle a little bit in the midsection of the round. They lost 2 minutes in, but they had some intel. They knew for a fact, okay, there are not many roam gamers on the roam here from Entropy. We're just coming in, we're just building up, pressuring a little bit onto side, and immediately when they find the first opponent, to get themselves ahead by 2 bodies in the man count, and that's very important, especially on the big map. We need to encounter like bigger areas on bang. Yeah. It's very important to have these man counts up on your side. And immediately you also see we're on the plan, and we got the lineup of Ryuga being so close together. Yeah, they may lose 1, they may also lose 2, and in fact, there's always a 3rd or maybe also a 4th guy being able to be in close enough areas to just say, okay, I'll push in, do a refrag trial, and it probably always works in a matter of fact, from the seconds from now being for Ryuga. And so then they pick themselves up another big round here, just locking out Entropy from their own side.
Yeah, I mean, 2 offensive rounds on a defensive favor map, that's a good start for Ryuga. Even better than how they started on Nighthaven Labs and already having evened the amount of rounds they want on the offense there. They can only do the same or better from this point onwards. Or Entropy Gaming is like indeed struggling to win those defensive rounds, which should benefit them. They're now going for the second attempt on that top floor bomb site. First time didn't really quite go their way. It was actually the sort of Ryuga being quite effective there and gaining side control pretty easily. But with the right kind of adjustments, Entropy surely is going to be able to hold them back a little bit better and potentially work things back in their favor.
They absolutely need to, because for 2 rounds is like the most standard way of saying, okay, 2 rounds you can give away to your opponent in the attack on bank, especially when you're going in the first half, but you need 4 of your own. Right off from now, Ryu got their 2 rounds back to back from the standard, and Entropy is still searching and lurching for their own, and so on. Entropy really needs to pick up on their own map pack and saying, okay, we need to find upstations on the playset that Ryuga brings, because they're playing very slow, and the slow playset just rips up Entropy's defense wall, because they're just roaming out. They're just spreading out from each other to just find where are they coming from. The build is so slow, we don't know where they're coming from, and then Ryuga finds the right moment of just slipping through the build-ups and the defensive holds of Entropy, and then Entropy is in the second hand just saying, okay, we need to get back on side because they're already in. And that is struggling Entropy very well handled at the moment.
Yeah, just very nerve-wracking there for the side of Entropy, knowing that something is going to happen, but not knowing how exactly, where, and when. Very important information that Entropy sometimes doesn't have in this situation, and where Ryuga is just like kind of playing around with. For now, Entropy just, like you said, hunting for those players, trying to find them, and actually they do this time around. The Nuck, the master player, to stay away and stay out of sight, actually gets found instead, and it's Gold losing his life, followed up by Variox getting a kill onto Pat, and suddenly we find ourselves in a 3 versus 5, and Entropy finally starting off a round good in their favor with a nice man advantage. But can they close it, or will Ryuga fight back?
But let's just me ask, are you seeing the same match as I'm doing? Because why is Entropy now beginning to pick up kills?
Yeah, well, that's the thing. Like on Nighthaven, it took them 1 round. Now it's taking them 2 rounds. So maybe Entropy is just a team where they just need to see on how their opponent is exactly playing, and it just takes them a bit of time, and then they start popping off. But for now, it's it's indeed a bit of an odd one. Sorry.
But also just to point out the point that we are saying, I just brought up the point with bring adaptations onto the placer, because you're now finding out how they're playing and how they want to play, and you bring adaptations. And the main adaptation point that is brought here onto the table of Entropy is we're holding positions. They're holding positions. They're having positions withdrawn to them. Say, okay, you need to hold these and these and these areas. And the first 2 rounds, the build of Ryuga was so slow that Entropy roamed to find them, and Ryuga slipped through. Now Entropy is holding position and say, okay, if they want to play it slow, let them play it slow, and we meet them when they come to us. Yeah. That way, immediately the game flow changed, and Entropy is getting the upper hand immediately, because they know for a fact they're coming from that angle, they're coming from there, they're pushing us, they're on the side, we got into that, they're coming right up. Now we swing, we get the kill. As easy as that. Now Ryuga did their standards the first 2 rounds, and now Entropy does their own standards again in the 3rd round, and it's very important, see, because they now found the right entry spot where they were needed to.
Oh yeah, indeed. And also for the for the top floor bomb side, they did now just play for the 2nd time and actually managed to win the 2nd attempt. We're going back to the basement bomb side, which they also played once, didn't manage to win. But if they continue the same trend, they might be able to win this time around. This 2nd attempt might do the job for them. Let's just see whether Entropy Gaming is able and capable of keeping up the momentum and the performance they showed us in the previous rounds, or whether Ryuga will be able to fight back a bit harder. We're seeing the Nuck being picked one more time, who's going to try to have that sneaky entry and catch Entropy off guard. But the last round, we of course saw how the Nuck was getting caught off guard instead. And with a bit of pre-fire, I mean, there could have already been a Nuck very early on, but luckily it didn't.
It didn't. And so on. 4th round, tempo change in the hands of Entropy. And now, all the work that Ryuga just did presently in round number 1 and 2 goes back. Yeah, they won the round in the first attempt into that basement floor. Now, after Entropy said, okay, we're bringing adaptations, we're just letting them play, letting them come to us. Ryuga just now needs to find an adaptation onto the adaptation brought by Entropy, and so on. The work that they did and brought in round number 1 and 2 is just being backhanded on them and saying, do it once more. So they're back at 0.
Mm-hmm.
And so on, just finding out and just figuring out what are Ryuga supposed to do now. Are they just staying with the same attempts and approaches that they had recently, or are they bringing some changes? As of the moment from what we're seeing now, it seems like they're bringing the same like build-ups as they did prior.
Yeah, it's at least inside of Ryuga having a nice and swift entry and safe entry into the map. Already have some nice side control of like building control where they can actually start popping up of like getting some hatches open up. The Maverick being very effective on those. Of course, perfectly denying that K2 still has one electrical even in his pocket, but the other hatch might be a bit more of a trickier one as the Maverick won't have the utility or time remaining to actually open up the second one the same way he's trying to open up this one. Also being contested through the lines of sight and holes that he's making. But luckily, they also have that Hibana, the vault hatch being unelectrified, so easy to be opened up. Same goes for the elevator, but mostly that open area hatch. That is going to be the tricky one with the K8 Electrocross in play.
Let all your Meister cook on these hatches. Like burning 3 canisters on one hatch and just saying, okay, I finally opened it is quite alright. But just look at the timer once again. I don't want to brag about it, but Ryuga is wasting a lot of time. Yes, now they're standing in front of the foot and doorstep of the side, but they're not close and nearly to do a take or do a planned position. So we just see Alpha being ready on his position, knocking out the first kill in the hands of Phaser. Once again, it is the knock that is supposed to come from the opposite side, make some distress, maybe just sliding into the build-ups from the defenders without being detected. That didn't work for Fazen for the second time in a row, and Fazen really should think of another solution. Now Gold is holding from above.
Ooh,
the plant is going down, but Husky finds the perfect
flawless
C4, and he finds a triple. He does find his triple kill, and that way it's not only a triple kill for Husky, it's not only a 2-on-2 standings for Entropy, but it's also a flawless round. And now we really see these crushing moments that we talked on that Ryuga needs to find and put onto Entropy. Entropy just immediately finds and says, okay, we will bring some heat to you and we will pressurize you with the maximum effort that we can. And what does it bring them? It brought them a flawless round against Ryuga.
Yeah, flawless round, and also brought Ryuga to the point where they are calling out the tactical timer. Because of course, Ryuga, yes, they have done well on those first 2 rounds, getting 2 attacker rounds on the board. That's a good thing for them, great for them. But the way that suddenly Entropy is fighting back, they need to find a way to break that momentum. Because if Entropy is being left untouched, and if the momentum is being carried over, they are going to carry it over even to the attacking side of Entropy, and that's something that Ryuga doesn't want. They need to break that momentum and the way that Entropy has been performing. And yeah, once again, Entropy having just the perfect response to Ryuga being in the leads. Just like on 19 for the Labs, there was a 1-0 score in the favor of Ryuga, and Entropy came back with a flawless round. Well, right now it was a 2-1, and once again, flawless round from Entropy to even things out.
For sure. And so on, I still just want to say, we're 4 rounds in. This is round number 5, and we're way past this, okay, figuring out phase of this map. And still, if we look on the scoreboards, we still got like 2 players, one on each side, not really living up to his expectations on this map. We got Alyumice on the hands of Ryuga, still with 0 kills on a Buck.
Yeah.
Or also he was on a Maverick, not really finding his insides and not really finding his right spot, his place to be at on this map so far. It's also on the hands of Entropy, with only you just bringing a lot of utility, bringing a lot of gadgets and saying, okay, this is how far I come so far, and so on. These 2 players need to adapt, and as fast as they adapt, and the first of them to adapt may be a crucial factor for his or her team to just say, we need these points.
Yeah, luckily kills aren't everything in the game of Siege, where also support and assists are very important in any way as well. But indeed, not having any kills is just not a thing that you like to see. For now, it's a 2-2 score, so 2 more rounds remaining here for the side of Entropy, who's been making the best out of the past 2 defensive rounds. So the question is how they will do in these upcoming 2-1s. We are now going to the ground floor then, of course, as well, as they won 2 defensive rounds in a row and are forced to go to a different bomb site for this time. And well, this is definitely going to be one of the weaker bomb sites for them, and also one of the bomb sites where Ryuga is going to have some opportunities. Bringing the Ram already was going to be very effective on breaking those surfaces to create new lines of sight. Same for Alyumice onto the Buck. But first, they will need to get the control over the top floor, and we have seen how well Entropy can do on wasting time. The question is, will they be able to hold back to the side of Ryuga long enough to prevent them from doing a lot of damage from above?
Definitely. And as we also here see, another time we play over multiple elevations. We have the top floor in the hands of Alpha in the top hand side, and then we got the multiple operators in the defense hold being in the first floor. The build-up's coming from both top floor, lobby side, and also from the basement side of Ryuga. I think that is a quite good thing to do, just putting pressure on multiple elevations. But you don't need to. You really need to see in and don't spread away too much and giving these leverage points. It's Ryuga's picking up the first kill, and once again, it's Algemeister on the bug. You need a bug for these spots because there's so much breakable floorage in the top of floor. You need to clear out to then be able to play down. Bang, breaks on the pressure as Hewitt opens his own window as well. Pat picking up another kill onto Husky, and now we got ourselves body count in the hands of Ryuga, and Ryuga finds them solutions, finds some adaptations. This is also Varix now goes down. It's all about Afla now.
This again reminds me of the round on Night Haven where the top floor clear wasn't working for the side of Ryuga. This time again not working, so they go for a more linear push, a more horizontal push, straight into the bomb side, going for the plants, and now it's Afla all left standing in this 3v1 point. It's a beautiful wallbang headshot right onto the head of Pat. You'd almost say he has wallbangs, but there's no wall hacks, but there's no such thing in the game of Siege on console, luckily. So it was a very fair and beautiful headshot there. With a 2 versus 1, the time is running out. They need to find 2 more kills and needs to find a diffuser who's hidden somewhere in this building. You can see there in the corner. At least he got the injured there onto Brexy, but it's all coming in fast. Who was playing fair and very far away and smart. Finds the kill to Afla. Even if Afla would have gotten the kill there, he wouldn't have enough time remaining to get the kill. To go for the diffuser. But in the end, beautifully played from Ryuga. But like I said, it reminds me of that Night Haven rounds. An extension from Entropy onto the top floor, being very effective on Ryuga, on holding them back, but then Ryuga making the right call to just go for something different, go for the horizontal push, and making that one work instead.
And as we just saw from the replay that we saw, Affle with a very cheeky wallbang there. He knew for a fact, okay, I hear a sound to my left.
Yeah.
And I'm just going for it. And the chance that we so often see, we have so many cuddle situations where defenders and the attackers are so close by. It's just often just one wall, and it's not reinforced very often. It's a soft wall that splits them from each other. And so often we don't see any engagements done by that. And that is a clearly indicator of Affle being brought to you, saying, if you hear something and you have a lot of shots left, take some. And may grant you a kill. And also that, he may not won that round, he may not clutched it, but he got the first entry, he then immediately gets the second one, it makes a 3 against 1, immediately to 1 against 1 situation. It was winnable, it was makeable, but so on. Phasm played it very clever, pulled a little bit back and said, okay, if he goes for a kill against me, he will not have enough time to go back, recover to the diffuser, and then destroy it. Or he goes for a defuse and I can just come up and then, because I got live leverage with my team being down straightly besides the diffuser. So very played by Ryuga, and as we both said, both these teams feel quite confident on this map. Ryuga won it just passively, 7-1. Entropy won it 7-5, had a little bit rougher run on it, but both teams feel confident, and that's what we're seeing. It's so close.
Oh, it's definitely close, and especially for Ryuga having those 3 points secured on the offense on the defensive favor map. They have done more than enough already. Would love even to make it a 4-2, but even if this gets into a 3-3, they will have a good opportunity once they go to the defense. But the same goes for Entropy, of course. They are probably very capable of attacking this map as well. But this first half is definitely interesting, as it's just so close to each other. Either it's going to be a 4-2 or a 3-3 split. For now, the members of Ryuga still, of course, for the last round here on the offense, trying to find a way in once more. Entropy being very effective, as always, on holding them back. And, well, it's going to cost some time for the members of Ryuga to actually get a foothold on the map itself.
It will be a hard one, but as the same matter of fact, we just see how much pressure Ryuga brings onto the table. Now, Hewitt finally puts some pressure on the table, getting his first kill in round number 6, and it's a huge one for Entropy. Ryuga wants to put pressure onto Entropy because it's we're having a good round. We want this 4th round win in round number 6 to just have this 4-2 split in our advance on the opponent's map, because that brings yourself a lot of mentality that's so crucially needed. And so on. Hewitt picks up another, Variax picking up a third. And this round is not going in the hands of Ryuga. Entropy is here, and they say, okay, we know for a fact we need round number 6 in our hands for the 3-3 split, and we will get it. As also Alpha picks up his 4th on gold. It's only Aliomeister left. Also, Aliomeister picks up the first, but it was his last for this round, and so on. We have ourselves a 3-on-3 roll split, and I both think both teams shall be very happy about that roll split.
I mean, I would have assumed that Entropy would have at least have loved the 2-4, but the 3-3 is definitely workable for either of the two teams. And it will really come down to how the other team does on each side. But 3-3 is definitely a very good-looking roll swap, especially for us, especially for the viewers, a very interesting one, as these two teams seem to be very well matched on the map of Bank. Of course, Entropy did get that map point already on the previous map, but at least for this one, things are very close. And I'm very curious what this means for this second half now.
It could mean so much, but it could also mean so little.
Yeah.
If you just look at the scoreboard, one thing that we can say, it's colossal. These teams both know for a fact, Entropy knows for a fact, we want to close this out because we want to go into that upper bracket final against Ghost Army and just say, that way we still have our Buffalo life left. Ryuga, for instance, says, okay, we don't care about the Buffalo life, but we want to bring the full distance. We want to fight us back, then maybe have a chance in the decider to say, okay, we want to keep our Buffalo life as well. Because in the main difference of seeing, if Ryuga picks up this round, picks up this map, they just don't say, okay, we're going on the decider. They say, okay, mine's cleared, it's 0-0. We have one map, it's a best of one now, and we need to put everything in. Just to bring that second life and withholding it. But Entropy will have something against that, and it's really about Ryuga being able to withhold this aggressiveness. And Entropy brings those corners, they bring those coverages, and immediately Phazon is struck by our dear Husky on a very cheeky angle.
Yeah, that gotta hurt. That's not a way you want to go out of the game. Like, when you don't expect. Yes, the skylight from White Stairs, that's a very high traffic and very dangerous position to roam as a defender. And you often see kills happening from there. But from the main skylight, you don't see that one that often. And that was a beautiful kill there onto Phazon, who can no longer counter the Ying that has been brought by Jewett. And neither of those flashbangs or smoke canisters brought by the Twitch and the Hibana either. So that's definitely going to hurt the side for Ryuga and make things a bit more possible for Entropy, especially for the utility of brought. But before they can use it, they need to make their way to the bomb site first.
But first of all, it hurts. Second of all, you know for a fact, I've said it so many times, German teams unknown on Bank, always trying to do a top wall clear.
Yeah.
Entropy does it. There was only one opponent saying, okay, I will walk up in the immediate square where someone that is doing a top wall clear will immediately see me. Phazon did it, Phazon paid the price for it. So on. Once more, Entropy has shown, don't kid with us when we're saying we're a German team, we do top wall clear.
Yeah, meanwhile the attackers are trying to get some control over the map, opening hatches which are being contested. In the end, they managed to find at least one kill onto Phazon earlier, and then onto Pat, but Pat then also, Husky then also lost his life, unfortunately. This leaves us with a 3 versus 4 in the favor of the attacking team in terms of man count, but also the last minute has now started. And the time is starting to tick. Attackers need to find a way towards the bomb side, needs to find a way in. They have lost quite a bit of utility, but they still have that Hibana who can open up those hatches. And especially, like I said, with the Ying, with those Candelas, she is going to be the main entry. And she is going to, basically wreak havoc on the bomb side itself.
You just look at it. We got ourselves another 3 Grims. We got ourselves another 4 Yings. We got 3 flashes. There's enough utility and gadgets here. Just withhold the operators away from a plant position of attackers. Also making a lot of noise and just covering those entries. As of now, these last pushes begins. Aliomeister on first, Gold picking up the second, but it gets reframed. Variox on the kill. He gets the next on Hewitt picking up the next of Braxty. It's only Gold left. Gold against 2. It's 3 seconds, and they need to go for a plan. Hewitt picks up on the diffuser. Gold picking up Variox. Does he know for a fact the position? And he does know the position. Gold clicking up a huge round for Ryuga once again, and we immediately have ourselves a comeback from the first frag, turning into another round in the hands of Ryuga, and that is big. Ryuga needed those points straight away from the board. As we told about, previously in the pre-map, they're looking to hurt Entropy, taking many rounds as they can in the attack, and then immediately just continuing in their defense, and so they do. Now it's all about Entropy not cracking.
Yeah, after losing the lead, Ryuga has now reclaimed it on their first defensive round. Interestingly, they're actually not going to the top floor for their second round. They're actually going to the ground floor, which for most teams gets saved for whenever they really need to. We have seen Entropy play it once or twice once at least in the previous half. But Ryuga, I mean, they feel confident about this bomb side. They just want to go there a bit sooner. They might need to play it eventually anyway, especially if they want to win this map. But for now, they have decided to prioritize it. Once again, likely they are going to extend to the top floor as well. Try to hold back Entropy as long as possible. But if we think back to how Nighthaven went, holding back Entropy is something that didn't go too well for Ryuga.
Definitely. And so on. They just need to find their positions and do the same thing over again as they did. They did a very good job. Yeah, okay. Let's forget about Phazon. Phazon maybe a bit lost on his way out of the spot. Unlucky there. But someone else, everything Ryuga did was very likely like an Entropy meta that Entropy did on Nighthaven Day. Wasted a lot of the time that the Entropy had, pushing back on them, giving them pressure, not giving them any ground for free. They needed to fight for it. They needed to lose time on it. And that way, when they were back on site, they were also not having any lack of confidence in their own playstyle. They held their positions, put pressure on, and said, we're not scared to do a fight. And that way, Ryuga is standing up tall at the moment.
Yeah, and the side of Entropy understandingly bringing the Jackal to the board, which is going to be very effective on finding those roamers on that top floor. Interestingly, we can see Aljameister already dropping through that elevator hatch. Somehow he might have been aware of the threat ahead of him, after which he decided to fall back. Of course, he can easily gain control of the top floor again, as he can jump up those hatches, so that it's something that the attackers need to be very, very careful with an Oryx on the roam. But for now, actually, this is very early top floor control for the side of Entropy. It's basically given for free, even as they had more than basically 2 minutes to deal with it. Still 1 minute and 30 seconds now remaining to actually make it work. And they already used some of those ram drones. They have some soft bridging on Jewett as well. They can make it. They can really reshape the ceiling to make lots of line of sights towards the bomb site and make it very difficult for the side of Ryuga to play on it. And yeah, I think Ryuga might need to find a way to actually contest the players up top again and reclaim control over the top floor.
They may need to reclaim a top floor, but it won't be an easy one, as also both Bitchy, Hewitt, and Alpha picks up 3 kills right off the board. And now we with 1 minute left, Gold is back up in the top floor. He needs to put some pressure on. He needs to find those kills. Just annihilating the opportunity for a free end run for these guys by Entropy, and he doesn't find a solution, and they get struck by a flawless run by Hewitt and Alpha picking up both their double kills.
Why does it seem to be like the default kind of response from Entropy whenever they lose the lead? Whenever it's Ryuga in the lead, they throw a flawless round and work things back to at least an equal score. This time it's a 4-4 score, and now both teams on a beautiful score, 2 points away from the map points, where in Entropy's case it's even not just map points but also match points.
With every due respect to Ryuga, Entropy every single time when they're doing a flawless round are like promptly saying, okay, we lost rounds, but we can win some too. And when we win big. And every single one of these rounds, I think that's the third flawless round that we see today from Entropy, where they're coming back from being behind in scorage, and it makes something with you. Ryuga, you can tell me whatever you want. You can't be looking into that and saying, okay, we can get flawless 3 rounds in a row. Every time when we're in the lead. That hurts. It hurts your mental game, it hurts your own play style. And so on, Entropy is some type of... I don't really think they're doing it because Entropy will never just give away rounds. What looks like, for me, they're having fun with these flawless rounds, just mocking their opponent a little bit when they're coming back. Because these flawless rounds are not only flawless rounds. These are rounds where they're completely destructing every single thing Ryuga tries to do.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it's really like Entropy really being able to counter Ryuga so well. Like I said, it might have to do with the way Ryuga gave the top floor away so easily and so with so little resistance, no damage done, barely any time wasted. They are not going for that same bomb set again. We are seeing a total of 3 defenders on top, I believe. maybe 2. But yeah, they will need to stay there a bit longer, potentially take some people to the grave. But otherwise, if they just wait to like give the space away for free one more time, Entropy is just gonna benefit from it again and again and again.
They will benefit from it, and especially Entropy needs like these playstyles to just pull themselves up a little bit. It's motivating them. I know for a fact multiple of these players saying when I'm doing great for like 1 round or 2 rounds in a row, I'm pushing myself beyond the powers that I usually have left and available. And so I talked about earlier, it is about these pickups. Yes, Rainbow Six Siege is not only about kills, but if you see when your supporters and Heartbreaks are beginning to pick up kills, then you bring more heat to the game. And we just look at Hewitt. Hewitt in the hands of Entropy, he had 0 kills in the hands of 4 rounds prior. Now he got 5, and he still got another 2 assists. That makes something with you when you say, okay, mid-round, where you're the mostly needed to pick up your skills, pick up rounds, you're beginning to do something for your team.
Yeah, indeed, it's definitely Entropy on a very good roll here. They are still all alive. They're still struggling to get the top floor control. So definitely Ryuga doing better on holding the top floor control for now. Doing also damage there on the side of Afla. So the side of Entropy definitely struggling to get the control here that they need. But for now, it's still tricky.
That was a cheeky hat on the table that did not go in the vision lines of Variox as he gets downed. But he only gets down. We got 2 downers, 3 downers in the hand of Entropy with no clearance. LUMS are picking up the first here. But we will see 2 revives if so on. No one can refrag those. Yeah, Entropy now back on the equal standing with 4-man power. But the clock is going against them. You can gain a lot of time, but Husky picking up the first. Look at the pressure. They're not scared of these fights.
It's okay, it's okay. I'll call you later, okay? Okay.
Look at these fights they're bringing in. Look at the temptation that they're having. They're not scared of all. Neither Ryuga, not Entropy. None of these teams are saying, okay, we're scared of these fights. We are low on HP, but we're taking these fights. And the pressure coming in still. Variox picking up the next one. FaZe and immediately refragging Alpha. We're going for the plant in the hands of Bitchy. Variox immediately trying to hold on to pressure. The plant goes through. FaZe finds Bitchy though. And so on, we got FaZe on the triple kill. Variox on the double. And it is quad kill for FaZe as Ryuga once more claims their throne, giving them a lead with 5 in round number 9. What a round it was.
What a round indeed. I'm very sorry if you might heard me on the call. I got like a spam call and I thought I was muted. But either way, beautiful round there from the side of Entropy it was. And sorry, Ryuga, I'm sorry I'm saying it wrong, but we see that one Ryuga player unfortunately has left the lobby, so this means that we are going to have a little pause again. I'm not entirely sure what's going on this time, but it might be again some technical issues that can be solved by a little No, Ryuga, don't leave everyone, you can just stay in the lobby.
It looks like we will have a complete rehost.
Yes,
and so on. We will surely be on screen. And there we are. Hello.
Hello, we're still here.
Okay. We just saw a banger round. It went in the hands of Ryuga, and it was very, very well earned for my sake. It was a great push done by Entropy because they knew for a fact that they only have 36 seconds left on the clock, and they turn a 4 against 4 immediately into being a crossfire-edge party. Yeah. With a better hand for Fazen as he picks up a quad kill. What?
Yeah, that's just insane. Like a beautiful way to win that round. And yeah, just is a really nice way to regain the lead one more time. Like it's now a 5-4 score in the favor of Ryuga. So they have been doing very well. And yeah, that was the question. Will Entropy once again answer with a flawless round or somehow just fight back? Or is this finally the moment that Ryuga actually has success and potentially even works this map to their favor? From what we are reading so far, by the way, it turns out that one of the players' PlayStation's overheated, so that's an issue that usually gets solved pretty quickly. Usually just quick, like a restart, and then usually things are fine again. But we're just waiting for the player to actually rejoin the lobby, along with the other players who also left the lobby. So just give us a few minutes. It shouldn't take too long if things go well. Otherwise, we might need to rehost, but we'll keep you guys updated in the chat. So stay close.
See you then. So are we back in for another bunch of rounds. We are back in round number 10. After some technical issues, we are finally in with the prep phase of round number 10. We got ourselves a 5-4 standing in the hands of Ryuga after tremendously good clutch comeback by Phazon picking up a quad kill. What a round it was, wasn't it indeed, my dear Bo's Max?
Oh yeah, look at all those players having only 0 kills. Now, of course, that has to do with the rehost that we just done. Unfortunately, the scoreboard completely wiped and completely fresh. Unfortunately, so we need to, just try to think back on how things went for the first 9 rounds that we have seen. But quite a few players that had been doing quite well. But unfortunately, yeah, like I said, scoreboard wiped, so it requires a bit more thinking work, and we need to recall how things went. But for now, it's Ryuga on the 5-4 score, where they are in a good position to potentially win this map. Of course, they just need only 1 more round to reach the map points. But at the same time, Entropy, who already won the previous map, is on will be on match point if they win the upcoming 2.
Definitely, and that way, we still potentially look forward into another map coming in hot here on the potential decider. But we still gotta be aware, Ryuga still needs 2 more, and they're only 1 round ahead, so there are still a lot of things possible to happen here. Ryuga could pick up it in 2, they could pick it up in 3, potentially also Entropy could pick it up if they're getting 3 straight wins here in the attack. It's hard, but it's possible.
It's definitely possible. I mean, Ryuga got 3 rounds on the attack as well, so if Ryuga can do it, Entropy can surely, but oh, you Jewett leaving the match, unfortunately. Not another one overheating, I hope. That's very unfortunate. Not a great start for Entropy, which might hurt their offensive round here. But for now, at least for Ryuga, that's good news. A 5 versus 4, as if they got a nice opening kill, which of course they didn't, but it's definitely going to be able to favor them. I think that was even the Heartbreacher, right?
It was the Heartbreacher in the hands of Hewitt. Hewitt is the one and only Heartbreacher in the lineup of Entropy, and that hurt, especially. You're in the basement, you need to open those hedges, no more gadgets with Broad that potentially could do so. So now you gotta need and use those standard ways in. But for a fact, Ryuga does not know that. They will know for a fact in less of a few seconds, but now it's all depending on giving the right calls, giving some intel done, getting that entry pick. If Alpha picks up the first, as he does on Barks, that is important. And now we got our ground safe. Phazon that still get a refrag far out on Variox. And now we still need to look into if Entropy is cleared and if they're finalized, push some pressure on into these sides. Husky coming up from above, potentially find some damage on Phazon if he's quick enough. But he needs to be quick enough on that roam in.
Yeah,
just channeling those beepers.
Sorry. So if Entropy finding themselves in a difficult position with limited entry points, they need to deal with the regular ones as they can no longer open any further hatches or whatsoever. So coming from security seems to be the favorable side, together with the garage. Ash coming from there, but getting found by Pat and getting taken care of. We leave ourselves now with a 4 versus 2 in the favor of Ryuga, with Husky over security and Batchief coming from my side, but both of them losing their lives in a split second. Earns another round for the side of Ryuga, puts themselves on a 6-4 map point for themselves, and just only being 1 round away to bring ourselves to the 3rd map of the evening. Entropy, however, on the other side, need to win the upcoming 2 rounds to still have a chance to win this map in overtime in order to win 2 maps in a row.
And they will be looking forward to that, as of this beautiful kill here from Alpha, picking up their first entry. But it did not need to find any more kills after that, as Ryuga just puts on their clear position, said, okay, we have the advantage. Luckily, outcome for them that Hewitt is getting kicked out of the lobby by any types, incidents, but so on. It is a round in the hands of Ryuga. Now they're up with 6-4, leading by 2 points. They got 2 runs on match point to bring themselves the redemption run onto the cider map. Without me not telling, because we are having a lot of new viewers here, but just look into it. We got 2 more potential rounds. Ryuga needs 1 of those, and we will look with a lot of pressure points on getting to my fault, because they don't want to go on that decider. They had a harsh run on Nighthaven where they took much ground for granted against Ryuga and won that round. Now they really need to seize through on the roadmap here and just push beyond. They need these flawless rounds or these temperaments they brought in these flawless rounds more than ever, because now it's back against the wall for them, for their sake.
And don't forget the previous round that Entropy played. They played with only 4 members. They lost Jewett due to a disconnect. And he was actually playing as Ying. Yes, he was having the secondary Harbridge utility, but he was not like playing as a dedicated Harbridger like Batchy is right now. But either way, at least right now it's a full 5 versus 5, so you could say that Entropy does have a bit of a better opportunity here, a bit more of a fairer round ahead of themselves. So let's see how they do. Like you already pointed out, 2 rounds in a row, that's what they need. So they have a clear goal. But even if they lose this map, they will still have another map as an opportunity for themselves, as they won the previous one.
Now we're up in top floor. That's a spot where Ryuga feels quite confident on their own defense. It's still also a spot where Entropy felt quite confident on pushing on. Now it's really about to see how the teams perform. As of Ryuga now really just being in need of being as calm as ever, but just letting Entropy come and then searching for these kills when they need to make them on these Entropy. As of shortly, Entropy will look into and bring in pressure and saying, we need to disrupt your positions to then push on beyond and maybe getting one first or maybe fast double entry kill, get some advantage points.
Well, disrupting these positions, that's one thing they're doing well, being very effective on pushing out Omai and even getting the kill on Omai. First destroying his shield, then his reinforced walls, and then getting even a second kill onto Omai. So this is devastating for the side of Ryuga. 2 members lost, the various bits of utility destroyed as well. After which now the attackers will have a proper chance to enter from the eastern side of the map. 2 defenders, however, still hunting. Bats now placing himself downstairs, looking to find anyone from below. But there's an attacker. There's an attacker somewhere close to him. I could see him for a moment. It's actually the Ash, who now finds an easy kill up onto Pats. Pats completely unaware of the Ash's position, which now loses Phasm and Gold as the 2 left standing defenders.
As I wanted to say, acknowledge me because I called it. The entry coming in with a double kill on Barracks, very big. And the thing happens from a quite opposite from the thing that I said Ryuga needs to. They need to be calm, they need to be steady and very good on their own confidence side. Say, okay, I'm good with holding my positions, and not be stressed out. They get immediately stressed out on what happens with Entropy when they're with their backs against the wall. What do they bring when they're not in the late max?
Flawless rounds.
Thank you. And so on, we got ourselves the 4th flawless round of this evening by Entropy. And now Entropy kicking some ass in round number 11, and they will search for round number 12 as well, because they want to bring it to overtime. They don't want to bring any type of way onto the side of this. So no Ryuga got stressed out in round number 11. They need to be calm and ready for round number 12, because else, if they're not ready, Entropy will smoke them.
Yeah, it seems like we might have a player lost inside of Entropy one more time. I'm not entirely sure. No, he is still loading in. He actually managed to get in, although technical timeout coming out, that doesn't seem too good here. But it seems that the servers are definitely not working in the favor here, as the members of Entropy are, well, speaking about in the match chat. But hey, 6-5 score right now. Entropy just being 1 point away from bringing this map to overtime. God, that would be such a big stunt if they manage to do that, and potentially again with like a flawless round, which they do every time when they are behind. I think this is the like we had 1 on Nighthaven. This is the 3rd or 4th on this map.
It's the 3rd on this map. It's a 4th in total, and it's the 3rd on bank. We just talk about it and just see it through. Also, yeah, the timeout was not necessarily taken because everything works well, and now we have Husky falling through. We really need him to reconnect. I just wanted to say the time was also maybe very well picked, because it is your last chance potentially to take it on bank, and you may just need a little bit more proper second to just talk through, be concentrated, and just figuring out, okay, we got ourselves another flawless round. We know how we can hurt them. We know that they're not able to withhold us if they need to, because they're stressed out. They're not capable of us bringing the pressure when they're having pressure themselves and saying, we want to lock this round out. And then maybe Entropy just pull that time out as well and just saying, okay, let's calm down. Let's focus. We are 1 round away from getting it to OT. When you're coming to OT, that's like a 0-0 again. That's the thing that Entropy needs to be searching for.
Oh yeah, definitely. And one thing they're searching for as well is that player at the moment, because as you could have seen just before we switched to cams, the player unfortunately left the lobby. That's also why they called out that tactical timeout, as well, the player was, like already having some issues on his end apparently, and they already expected him to disconnect, so they called it the timeout to buy some extra time and to draw the attention of the observer. And in the end, well, the player disconnected. We're just now just waiting to hear from the player when he's able to rejoin the lobby, so we can hopefully continue this match without another rehost, which I'm confident. The player just rejoined. There we go. Our prayers are being heard and being answered. So luckily, the player is able to rejoin. Yes, thank you. Without the rehost needed, because also that would bring new problems as well, as the servers are just being unreliable lately, unfortunately. But with the player returning, it means we can rejoin the game. So let's see where we will be going. Of course, it is a 6-5 score right now. So this round is very important. Either we're going to get overtime, or we're going to go to the third map. Either way, this match is being extended in some way.
I'll definitely just stay where I stood at my point of view from the last round. It's really just about Entropy just continuing where they left off in round number 11. And for Ryuga, it is just saying, okay, round number 11, we just forget it. We never had a 2-round lead. We only had a 1-round lead. That round did never happen. And now they need to calm themselves. They need to bring calmness into their defense hold. Now they're in the base. Now they're in the open area side. It's excited where they're clutched by Phazin. But just keep in mind, Phazin did a quad on it, but it was a 4-against-4 body situation that went onto Phazin must doing everything by himself. Yeah. That cannot be the key for Ryuga this time. They need to put on pressure. They need to find the entry spots by Entropy and then annihilating and locking those out. Taking time off the clock, not granting them any grounds for free.
Yeah, kill Phazin and you're good, you would almost say. But yeah, of course, the rest of members of Ryuga are more than capable of defending as well. But it's indeed not good to have it all laying in the hands of one player. All eyes now focus on Entropy or on Ryuga, actually on either of the two teams, like I said, because this is a very important round. But things starting in the favor of Entropy as they get their first opening kill onto gold. That's the castle loss. Not the biggest amount of utility being lost, fortunately, for the side of Ryuga, as he likely plays all of his utility. But still, it's the manpower that you're losing here, and with Varus getting another kill there onto Brexy, it's also the dodge, which is utility loss. Very unfortunate. Leaves us with a 3 versus 5.
But just look at the manhunt that is bringing with goal. Yeah, Ryuga immediately saying, okay, they wanna hold up on top floor. Well, they're getting immediately hunted out. They're losing one, they're losing two. There's no work together. Then try to refrag somehow. And immediately you see Entropy is pushing on pressure. And this round is Olimeister, the weakest lead, the weakest link in this team off of this map so far against a full stack Entropy. Are we looking for Flawless 5? We're looking for Flawless 5. And it's so crazy. On overtime we scream.
It's crazy the amount of flawless rounds Entropy is getting. Like every time they are being pushed against the wall, like you're saying, where they are down on points, they just throw a freaking flawless round to work things around back into their favor. It's insane. I've never ever witnessed something like this. Never,
I definitely know where we had a team privately in history that's called Flawless 7. Yeah. I know for a fact which team bought that Flawless stuff definitely from that league. Oh yeah. It's Entropy. They own that Flawless title. Let's be honest about that.
Yeah, I like I said, I've never witnessed anything like this. Like a match that seems to be so close in terms of points. Like, because of course, like it's going really back and forth, especially for this map. Then how in God's name is it possible for Entropy to keep having flawless rounds? Like, how can they be then technically perform so poorly on the other rounds and perform so incredibly like beast moded on the other? How?
I really can't find the answer to it myself. But I must say now, we are having it in overtime. We have had 2 back-to-back flawless rounds. It's not often you see that proudly either. And now Ryuga is a little bit cracked, I would say. They had a 6-4 lead. They looked very good on this map. Now they're back in overtime. It's 0-0, nearly possible to say. And now they're in the attack side and they really need to find their grounds again. And it's really about now saying, okay, focus guys. We're getting tired. it's understandable, but we're not finished it, and we need those 2 rounds. We got 3 shots of getting 2 rounds. Both teams will just look into and say we will take our best advantages of it and do our best to just keep those rounds coming in our favor. Because none of these teams wants to lose, especially Ryuga, because they want Dial to go to Decider, and we just want to say, we have no power left. We need to win it straight here.
Yeah, we also cannot say which team is better on which side because it was the 3-3 split for each of the 2 halves. It's Ryuga on the offense. They haven't done offense for some time, so didn't Entropy on the defense here. So both teams need to be kind of familiarizing themselves again with the side they're playing on, as it has been some time. But with Ryuga here on the offense, they are starting out right. They are avoiding the top floor this time around, like which they did on the very first rounds. They went for the top floor, cost a lot of time, manpower, and everything, and then they decided to go for a horizontal push, which then works out for them. They're starting out with a horizontal push straight away, and you can see Entropy is expecting them to come from above, but they're coming from server instead.
They're expecting them to come from above. They're coming from server. They have a Monty in hand, and they're not losing him so early on as we saw him earlier. Vargs brought that Monty earlier and privately in rounds, and immediately got withdrawn by the defense bench. This does not happen this time, and so now time is ticking against Ryuga, but they still got the operators right to do a defuse happen. But we still got Alumais picking up the first on Husky. You'd immediately refragging. It's 1 minute left, and it's a very close standoff of these operators. We're just crowded together down in the basement floor.
Yeah, we're just only having 1 minute remaining. It's a 4 versus 4. Attackers are in the position they need to be, and especially with the Monty now on the cover, it's a perfect opportunity for the Thatcher to go into the plant, especially with the Yinka that is being thrown. But you still get the kill onto Gold. C4 is being thrown, but doesn't connect. C4 is down, so it's now 3 versus 4. Post-plant situation. Man count advantage for the defenders, but time advantage for the attackers, who now can position themselves in a strong position. Just need to keep an eye on the diffuser. Make sure the defenders don't get the kills and don't get close enough to the diffuser, and then they should be fine. Bats with the kill. They're on to Batchy. 3 versus 3. Judah getting in trouble and getting finished by Pat as well. Was only killed Afla, leaving Variox all left standing in this 3 versus 1. Just patiently waiting or potentially crashing because he is standing still. He's not moving whatsoever. Now he's moving, but somehow I think he might have felt already that it was all over for this round. And this round will go to Ryuga, putting themselves on 7-1. Map points for map 2.
As much as I really admires the work put in by Ryuga, I must also say I'm a little bit scared if they win. Don't get me wrong, they deserve to win. They have worked for it, and they wanted the cider map. They wanted so badly, and they deserved it. But with the servers just being so cranky and so greeny as they are at the moment, I'm pretty much scared how long this evening will last if we go through the decider. But so on, Ryuga back in the lead. Only one more step, once again, away from going the full distance onto the third map in this best of 3. Can they see it through this time, or will Entropy come back with another flawless?
Yeah, that's a big question. Entropy again, of course, now in the position where they would usually bring the flawless route, and it would suit them very well if they do so. So all eyes focused on them. Ryuga, on the other hand, going to the basement bomb site, one of the stronger ones on this map. I don't know if you recall the round history for this bomb site before. Like they played it twice, probably lost it won it once, or
they played it twice and they lost it once. They won it once.
Yeah, so it's like a 50-50 win rate right now on this bomb site. So this round can prove whether they are good on the bomb site or not against Entropy. So let's see how.
Wait.
Am I wrong?
I recall they played it twice and they lost, and Ryuga won it twice. The second attempt was when you fell through the roster and they played a four-man round.
Right.
They lost it twice.
Okay, interesting. Okay, well, let's see.
Against Alpha once again, though.
Yeah, let's see how things go, because of course Ryuga now in a good position to potentially win this map. But of course, like you've always said, Entropy is going to do every single thing in their power to stop them.
Definitely. They will, Entropy will search for that round number 15. They're not searching for a decider, they're searching for round number 15. That's for a fact. But Ryuga kills off time, and they're doing the thing that I called upon them earlier. They're being calm, they're being confident and saying, okay, we're not roaming around, finding trouble, we're holding our angles, being cheeky, being close, wanting them to meet us when we are on our position spots. And so on, that is the thing that Entropy must do and deal with.
Yeah, so with the first minute passing by, attackers are just actually being very effective, as Entropy usually is on getting ground control. There's not much resistance from the side of Ryuga either. We just see one player standing on top of those blue server stairs. But that's about it, so attackers are having a lot of free space here. Luckily it's not a bomb site with a lot of verticality, otherwise this bug would have wreaked absolute havoc. But right now they just need to find a way to open up those hatches, which have been electrified by the gate. But in combination with those EMP nades, it shouldn't be too big of a problem. Then they can start descending into the bomb site and make it very difficult for the defenders to defend the bomb site.
And they will bring a lot of temper now. They will bring a lot of heat onto these spots. We just need to see if we shall have some of the force brought onto Ryuga. It's really just about which team brings the most force and which team is able to withhold the most against it. And as of now, time is ticking completely for Ryuga, but they're losing it first. They're losing Alyameister on Variox's push down beneath the stairs. Once again, Alpha picks up Brexy in the garage. Once again, Variox picks up Pat, and we still got ourselves a completely body count against the hands of Ryuga. Variox on a triple. What is happening?
It's all coming out to goal to deny the flawless run for Entropy, but as he's getting flashed, his position seems to be unknown. He gets the injury, but he needs to finish to at least deny the flawless run win. Diffuser meanwhile planted on the floor. It's a 1 versus 5, 1 versus 4 practically with the player injured, so it's a very difficult position for him to be in. They know where he is. Flashbang will be thrown, and it's the flawless round again. Yes, he got the injury, but the injury doesn't count, and that makes it a flawless round for Entropy for the 5th time this map.
I'm a caster, get me out of here. What am I witnessing? 6 rounds of flawless.
6 even.
In a best of 3, and we're only on map 2.
Oh, right.
What is happening? We seized it through to round number 15 in the hands of Entropy. Ryuga, once again, this was the 3rd try that they got on locking down Bank for fact. They did not hit, and now Entropy is on the high rise. They come back for the 5th or 6th time this match. They're denied 3 match points in the hands of Ryuga, and now they're on the Heat side and say, okay, either way, this map goes now.
Yeah.
We are definitely ready. We're having enough energy left. We're showing that we got energy left in our chests to take this. And so on. Now it's like whoever takes the first deal damage and brings home the first kill may take this map.
Very unique match between these two teams, which now has brought us to the 7-7 final round of this match. It's Entropy on the defense, Ryuga on the offense. We just had 2 overtime rounds, of which both went to the attacking sides. Neither of the 2 defenders managed to win a round. Both of them attempted the basements, neither was successful. Entropy again on the defense, going for the same basement. If the trend continues, we are seeing a Ryuga win, but all those flawless rounds, all those comeback attempts of Entropy, don't let them be for nothing. Entropy are surely once again going to give everything in their power to end the map right here, right now.
Definitely, and I think the position of Alpha Lab may be very interesting for the back roam hand, as of surely. Entropy will just let Ryuga play down the basement for the beginning, and they will just charge up their gadget that they have. These Goyos will be needed far out in the round to just denial and bring on the plays that Ryuga has been so far. Also, Alpha will be a crucial factor. As long as he's not being dealt with, he will strike back from the back and rear side from these staircases, and then he will bring a lot of temper. You just see how crowded Ryuga is. They're gathered up. They will go for the same build-up that they had on the plan side. And it's really about Entropy just doing their best possibly that they can to deny and draw time. Just figure out, are everyone there? Can Alpha Baby begin his back roam, or what is the thing that we are supposed to do?
Yeah, Predator just waiting for the prey to forget about the danger. So he's in a very strong position right now, as long as he remains undetected. But for now, also the side of Ryuga in a good position to go for the execute here. You can see the Candelas are being prepared. Monty's ready for the cover. Thermite has a diffuser in hand, so they are ready to go for this execute. And it's just a matter of seconds before they start. Like you can see, all the utility is being prepared. We're just waiting for the
But
IGL
also,
to make the call to go for it.
with all these flanks open, these two single walls breached up. And you see Husky on that headline into Garage. He's on the nave position that DZ brought into the major. And that one is a C4, and it's a double kill! And that may be the crucialest factor hitting against Ryuga. Both Praxi and also is their friend of Alumizer both knocked down. And that surely was the end of it. There's no coverage anymore. They can't do for the plan. Now they need to pull up some flanks, and it will be too late. It's 30 seconds left, and remind, Afla is still back up in top 4. He's still able to do that back flying, I think.
Gold understanding those whites as a position where he might not be noticed from, although he just popped the guy against it. Gets found as well. Husky getting the kill into Gold. 2 attacking players, of which Felton is now being injured. So it's all coming out to Pat. He is the only one we can do for his team. And with 10 seconds, there's no time for a revive. He needs to get the kills. He needs to go for the plan. But it's the flawless round from Entropy. I'm speechless. I'm speechless.
Am I stupid? Or can I still count? Was that the 7th flawless round?
In total,
Did we really see 7 flawless rounds by Entropy on 2 maps? With 1 on night team and 6 on bank.
That means 6 out of the 8 rounds of Entropy on this map were flawless. How? I'm speechless.
I don't know what to say. As of the moment, I just want to turn around and just walk away. I have nothing more to say. There is nothing more to say. Okay, let's forget about it. I'm not commenting anything on that map. I would just say GG well played to Ryuga. I wish you the best of luck down in the lower bracket. There's still a lot of chance there. Entropy Gaming just showed. We got some Ghost Army guys into the chat here. They showed their presence, and I think Ghost Army knows what's waiting them. And they surely say, don't bring the guys of Entropy to bank. Don't do that.
It's just insane. What have we just witnessed? I cannot really wait for someone to actually calculate some statistics on this match, because I don't even know. Of course, we had the unfortunate rehost, so we don't see the things, but eventually we'll see how this match actually went in terms of statistics. But another thing we can see, of course, is the updated bracket. We can see how Ryuga now has dropped down to the lower brackets, and where Entropy has moved forward to that upper bracket final, where Mafia Squad, or actually no, sorry, no Mafia Squad, Ghost Army is already waiting for them. So right now, yeah, this is what the bracket looked like. We know what which matches are coming. Of course, tomorrow and Thursday are those 2 lower bracket matches between, I believe it's Phoenix and Aspire, and then the other match is MVG and Frequency. Exactly. So those are the 2 matches coming up for later this week, which will decide the opponents then of Ryuga, and the other team was going to be Envision. Yes. So yeah, those are the 2 matches happening later this week. But just again, one more tomorrow's game. Sure, let's just show tomorrow's game as well. Phoenix Esports versus MG Aspire. That's the one you will be seeing tomorrow at the same time as usual on the 5th of June. So that's going to be the Wednesday. But before we close this off, Mighty, one more time. Flawless round after flawless round after flawless round. Every single time Entropy Gaming is down on points, is getting in a tricky situation, they throw a flawless round. How is that possible? A usual response is when another team is just doing a little bit better, you will have a tricky round, but you will make it work. But usually that round ends like with a few members, like few casualties on at least each side. But not flawless round after flawless round. That's just insane. That's unheard of. I've never seen this anywhere. Not in ESA, not in any other league, not even on Pro League.
I've seen it once before with flawless. But then it was a match that went like 7-1, 6-1, like 7-2, like very eager in one direction. But here we had a close match that went into round number 15 in the double overtime in the very end of the map. Yeah. We got 6 flawless out of 8 round wins. If you just think about it privately, these are 2 teams playing against each other. Mm-hmm. The one hand team wins rounds when it's very close, and the other team wins rounds when they're just completely wrecking the team.
Yeah.
It doesn't make any sense, because we had an 8-7 standing and so on. How good any else match has been so far this season, for every analyst in the season that's still up running. When you're playing against Entropy, watch this map and just see what the guys bring. It's one thing to come back from round and say, okay, we just lost, we're back down, we need to come back into the lead, like finding an equalizer and then come back into the lead. It's one thing to have teams do that. But doing it in a flawless meta just shows how much mentality is ongoing and how much you just feel confident in yourself. Every single gunfight and every single of these 6 flawless rounds that we saw, there are pure confidence in every one of these 5 players. They may not bring kills to the table every single round. Well, they brought intel, they brought gadgets that were so well needed for the executes, and these executes by Entropy Gaming are not only lethal, they're championship worthy. As of they are looking for their next title. Their only possibility having 2 more matches needed. They got one against Ghost Army, and they got, for instance, the grand final ahead of them. If they shall succeed next week. That is their main goal, and I really think they will see things through, because they are 4th-time champ, and they are looking for their 5th star on their chest.
Definitely. And I don't know about you, Mighty, or our viewers, but I'm definitely going to need the next hour to process what just happened during this match. But I think this is a great moment to start processing the match, as we can now say goodbye to each other, to the players and the viewers, and wish everyone a very good evening and hope to see them tomorrow. So thank you, Mighty, for being here. Thank you, viewers, for being here. And I hope to see you all tomorrow when we have another match coming up. So have a good evening. See you later. Bye-bye.
See you then.